So that's why my goal was to buy one property a year for 10 years. And that's what I've done. And now like I'm looking into like development.
大家好，欢迎收看房产经纪工作室。那这是一个专门为华人房产经纪所设立的 YouTube 频道。那如果你是华人房产经纪，或者是对这个行业有憧憬的话，这个频道订阅下来不会错的。那今天很有荣幸邀请到这个嘉宾呢，他在这个行业14年的时间，他最高的时候一年卖70栋。那除了这个之外呢，他在这14年的时间也累积了有10栋的投资房的房产，这是蛮了不起的一个 accomplishment。那今天呢，就是要邀请 Denise 来分享他当房产经纪，还有他投资这方面的这个经验哦。他还有一个很特别的身份，他在 TEDx 上面也有演讲过。哇，那
很厉害，
很不容易哦。
很厉害。
OK，好，那就废话不多说，先把我们的频道订阅下来，然后我们邀请 Denise。
跟大家分享一下他的一些经历，这样子。
OK，
好，Denise, thank you so much for coming on to our show. It's definitely an honor. And we prepared a couple questions for you. But before we start, can you share with the audience about your experience, like how you got started and where your production is at? Let's start from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started my career in 2010. So I've been in the industry now, just hitting my 14th year this year. And so this is the year that I've started a team. So now I have 7 agents on my team. The production goal this year is 100 deals amongst the team. But yes, as you mentioned earlier, that usually the peak of my career, I was doing anywhere between 70, basically 50 to 80 deals, even 70, between 2010 to 2015 was the height of my career. Now I'm just giving back with the team now.
And also, what's your price point? Because I know a lot of agents, maybe they sell 200-300 homes, but their price point is like 200,000, 300,000. What's your price point?
Okay, so the average price point for myself here is 1.2 million here in Vancouver.
Okay, so you guys can calculate the commission. The baller, basically.
Yeah, so at the peak of my career, I would probably say my best year would have been $1 million in sales. So but it's like at the end of the day, you get paid in proportion to the value you bring. So
Yeah. So let's go back 14 years ago. How did you get into the industry, and how did you start from selling 0 homes a year as a newbie to selling 20, 30, 50, 70, 80 homes a year?
So it all started when I first started in real estate. I got in a team for the first 4 years. So that helped me get my feet in really quickly, get into the business really quickly, get some experience, gain a lot of knowledge, got a lot of advice, got a lot of leads. So my goal was just really close leads. That's all I was doing for my first 4 years. And then I branched off on my own in my 4th year. And then I started kind of I don't want to say it was a kind of a team in my 5th year. Like I got my own virtual assistant, and then I got my in-house assistant, and then just had a few agents always just helping me, but it was an unofficial team at that point.
Okay. So when you were with the team, how many homes were you selling? And then versus when you decided to go solo, why did you decide to go solo? And how many homes were you selling?
Great questions. So when I was just starting out with the team, the first year I probably only did like 5 deals, and then the next it was like 10, and then 15. So the first 4 year was anywhere between 5 deals to 20 deals, the first 4 years. And then I remember I asked my team leader at the time, we're doing like a 50-50 split. I asked if I could get a higher split because I was doing more deals, and I just felt like, hey, if I'm gonna be doing all the work but getting 50%, I felt that I deserved a higher split. I think it was only, I would have been okay at like 55-45 or even 60-40. But when he said no, that was pretty much my cue to be like, okay, well, I'm going to just try this on my own, see how it goes. And that's what I did. So in my 4th year, I went off on my own. It was scary because when you've been on a team, you've had all this support and guidance, and all of a sudden you are on your own, it really pushes you out of your comfort zone. And I'm thinking to myself, am I gonna like release the safety blanket that I've been having the whole start of my career? And so that's what really pushed me to go on my own. And after that, going on my own, I realized, it's not that bad. it's better. Yes, I'm doing less deals, but I'm getting 100%. But that's really when I started working even more on my skills, getting a coach. And that's how really in my 5th year, my business transformed. I went from 5 to 20 deals the first 4 years to doing 70 deals in my 5th year and making, I
Wow.
think, 800,000 that year. So it was more money than I could have ever imagined.
So Denise, I think from your experience, you might have the answer for a lot of like newcomers who just got real estate license. They will be choosing between joining a team or going solo. So with that questions, do you have any suggestions?
That's a very great question. I think for me, the reason why I wanted to join a team when I initially got into the industry was for the support, the guidance, the help. And I knew that there was so much to navigate. And I know I was giving up 50% of my commission, but to the way I see it, in Chinese, we call it hawk fight, which is tuition. You know, this the
学
tuition
费，学费，
way, right? It's like you're paying tuition to basically learn. And the thing with me is like the advice, the experience I got was invaluable. Like that is priceless. Like, you know, at the end of the day, if somebody's going to open up their team to you and show you their systems or processes, how they're thinking, their strategy, that's worth so much more.
Okay. So your recommendation is for people who want that extra help or get to where they want to get to faster to consider joining a team.
Consider joining a team, unless, you know, you could do it solo. And I'm not saying that's not like people can do solo, right? There are agents who started on their own and they've done it before on their own. The thing is, if you are doing solo, you have to kind of figure it out on your own. There's like a trial and error process. And at the end of the day, you don't have somebody there that says, hey, this is how you get from point A to point Z the quickest. You're just kind of figuring it out on your own, which is fine. And they're both different in their own way. You just got to kind of figure out what you think is the best solution for your own personality.
And that leads to my second question. So when do you know that you are ready to go solo? I was some other agents, buyer's agent before, and I know at the time to make the decision, it's a lot of pressure. I feel insecure. I think a lot of agents will go through that.
Oh, absolutely. And it's very normal. And I think the thing is, most people are so afraid of fear. They let fear consume them every day because they're like, oh, what if I fail? Or what if I don't succeed? Like, you know, they're always thinking about the worst case scenario. However, on the other side of this other area, instead of failing and not succeeding and all this negativity, rejection that everyone's so afraid of, on this other side is actually success, is actually succeeding and actually achieving everything you set your mind to, right? Because I think if most people, instead of letting fear consume you, step into faith and just take that leap of faith and believe that, hey, what's the worst case scenario that can happen? It's not a failure if you've learned from it. And that's probably one of the biggest things for me is like, I'm not afraid to always take risks, to try something new, to meet new people, because the rewards I've gotten, the results I've gotten from that has just been so much greater than I could have asked.
Mm-hmm. I know I've heard you speak in many different kind of setting, on stage, on Zoom, off stage, we talk to, and you're a big personal development person, and you follow Tony Robbins.
Yes.
And can you share a little bit about your personal development journey?
Absolutely. And I've been such a big proponent of personal development because, you know, those of you who have watched my TED Talk, you kind of understand a little bit of my background story. You know, I grew up in a very poor setting. So I had to do a lot of personal development to reprogram my subconscious beliefs because I grew up, you know, with a mom telling me like, you know, save money, we don't have money, don't spend money on this. So it was a very scarcity mindset the way I grew up. So I've probably done every personal development course you could think of. I love personal development because I truly believe the personal development that I've gotten has allowed me to step into a version of myself that I wanted to become. And now who I am here sitting in front of you two today would not be the same person I was like even 5 years ago. So I'm still, even to this day, still doing personal development. Every single day, I'm always learning something new, reading, podcasts, you name it. So, also a big change on how I was able to do such a big transformation in terms of my deals was getting a coach, taking that leap of faith and paying for a coach, because when you pay attention. So that's really what transformed my own, not only life, but and I always say personal development is an investment in yourself, and it truly pays the highest dividends. And if you can really just take even 10, 15 minutes, or even cut out TV. I stopped watching TV for over 10 years now. I just don't watch anything that's not educational, or if it doesn't make me laugh, I don't watch it, because it's really a waste of time. And I think a lot of people now do get sucked into social media. That's definitely a time waster. So I really set boundaries and time block on those kind of activities that don't really add value into my life.
I want to ask one question based on what you shared earlier, how you were with the team selling 5 to 20 homes, and then you went solo, you start selling 70, 80 homes a year. What are the 3 things that you have done that help you to have that big jump? Like even 4 times, no, 8 times your income, because you're keeping 100% of it. So what were the 3 things that you have done so the audience can learn from you?
Yeah, this, it's, I always say sometimes it's not like a few things, it's really accumulation of a lot of things doing consistently on a daily basis that make a world of a difference. And I know everybody hears it over and over again, like just being consistent with your schedule, right? For me though, I think a big shift probably would have been my mindset. That in itself was probably the first step. If you do not shift your mindset and believe that it is possible for you to achieve the success you want to achieve, your mindset or your subconscious mind is always going to hold you back. So for me to reprogram my mind, and a saying that I always said in the very beginning of my career, fake it till you make it. And I know there's a lot of people that say, oh, that's such a negative word. But the reason I say that is because a lot of times what got you here today that's not what's going to get you to the next level. So a lot of times we have to let go of our identity, let go of things that are not serving us, things that are toxic and everything like that. So I had to really reprogram, shift myself into a new identity. And I did that through personal development, which, okay, so number 1 would be affirmations. I was such a big proponent, and still am a big proponent of affirmations. And when I say affirmations, speaking them, I would drive to work and I'd be like, I'm a great listing agent. I believe in me every day in every single way. I'm getting better and better. And this also is in alignment with self-love. I think when I truly worked on self-love and loving myself for who I am and who I'm not, and just believing in myself, that really allowed me, so that my cup was so full of love that I was able to build up my own confidence. So that leads into my second thing, which is number 2, building up your confidence and just continuing to persevere no matter what. Because I think this business can take a toll on you. It's so much rejection. There's so much ups and downs. It's an emotional roller coaster. So if you just continue to persevere and not give up, and I think having that resilient mindset and that attitude can basically let you go a long way. And so that slowly, and this is probably one of the things I should have added in my title on my TED Talk, is that resilience, build your resilience as your superpower. But I truly believe if you build resilience as your superpower, it allows you to develop confidence, right? And I think that's resilience was what I did, and confidence has been the outcome of who I am today. And so that's allowed me to just be confident in every situation that I'm in, no matter what. And a third thing that's gotten me to honestly, it's the power of proximity. And I say power of proximity, it's having the right coach, hiring my coach. Not only that, I surrounded myself with higher producing agents, because I truly always believe if you are the smartest or doing the best in the room, you're in the wrong room. So I always had a mastermind group, or surrounded myself with agents or mentors where they were doing deals or transactions where I wanted to be. I always wanted to hit that 80 to 100 deal mark, right? And so now that I have a team, now I'm pushing into that 3-digit goals, over 100 deals, 150. So that's kind of the trajectory that I'm going in now.
It's something you shared earlier, that fake it till you make it. I
Yeah.
actually, past couple, like last year or two, I started thinking about that phrase. I have a little different version than that. Let me
Wait,
share.
let me guess. Is it face it till you make it?
Similar. I
Okay.
changed it to be it till you make it.
I like that too. Yes.
Be that
Yeah.
person so that you'll make the decision accordingly. So let's talk a little bit about your investment journey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you mentioned you didn't came from a rich family. So all your investment property are your hard-earned money. Did you
Yeah.
buy your own property, like your own home first, or you had money and you
Invest
decide to
first.
invest?
So basically, when I first started investing, um, it- I guess this all started with the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I
Mm,
think that allowed me to really realize the poor mindset and the investor mindset, because that opened up my eyes to this whole other world that I've never was never taught, was never shown growing up. So I knew that we were poor, and I knew that when I grew up, I didn't want to have, like, money isn't everything, but money gave you options.
mm,
So when my dad came into my life, my stepdad came into my life when I was about 7, we moved from the downtown east side of Vancouver, pretty kind of poor neighborhood, into another area in the East Vancouver neighborhood. We bought a house, and when I was about 18 years old, he actually sold it right before the market took off. He sold it for $300,000. If he waited a couple years, he probably could have either doubled or tripled his money easily.
mm.
And that house is probably worth 1.5 million now,
Wow.
unfortunately.
What?
Yeah, but it is what it is. It's already happened. And so we were renting for 10 years, and I was living in a tiny 2-bedroom basement.
Mm,
And it was I got into the industry, and I think it was my 3rd year in that I finally bought my first property. And
mm,
it was an apartment that was a 1-bedroom and a den, and it was for 310,000. And I still remember, I still have this property to this day. The property is now like about 700,000. And that was our first property that we finally got to move out of the basement and into this, into our own home. Because I didn't want, at the end of the day, be renting for the rest of our lives. Because I
mhm,
do believe if you're renting, you're paying down someone else's mortgage versus paying
mhm,
down your own mortgage. So that's really how it's all started. That was the first property. And then the second one, I bought a foreclosure. And then I knew one of my goals was I had this goal from my coach. He said, I got this idea from him to buy one property a year for 10 years and spend 10 years paying it off.
mm,
So that's why my goal was to buy one property a year for 10 years. And that's what I've done. And now, like, I'm looking into like development, I'm looking into buying multifamily. This is where now I'm expanding my portfolio investments into. So it's really you just have to take that step. And a lot of times I was scared because I was taking on a mortgage on myself by myself. And then next I was buying a house. I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to afford this $1.5 million
Yeah.
house? But you just do it. Even though you're scared or you're fearful, just push through anyways,
yeah.
because
Mhm.
what's the worst case that can happen? Do
Mm,
make strategic choices and educated choices, but as long as you do the research, you feel good about your numbers, just go for it. You don't have too much to lose. Yeah.
I think what you say is very key. Take calculated risk, and
Yes,
at the same time, back to what you were saying earlier, trade your fear with faith. Like,
exactly.
what if everything works out well, and like what are the reward you can get? And because ultimately, if you buy 10 in 10 years and pay them all, after that you don't have to worry about like retirement, have no money coming in. Because I think most realtors don't really retire, and I think that's exactly why we're all in EXP right now, so that we're having additional stock and rev share coming in.
One more quote I want to share, because this is a quote that I also love too. Let me just quickly pull this up. You guys probably know this one as well, because this is a powerful one by Gandhi. Your beliefs become your thoughts become your words. Your
Mhm.
words become your actions, and your actions become your habits. Your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny. And so I also wanted to share this quote with you, because it doesn't matter where you came from, what you've gone through. Like, if you've gone through like so much turmoil, or whatever past or history you've had, does not equal your future. you can create your own future by just changing your beliefs, changing your words, changing your actions and your habits. That will decide your destiny. So, hopefully today I just, wanted to share those little bit of nuggets that I've gained in my career and in my life, and that I just want to hopefully inspire some people that, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. I'm just the little girl born in the downtown east side, a very poor part of Vancouver, and, single mom on welfare, and odds were stacked against me, but hey, anything is possible. So yeah, that's what I'll leave you with.
You're awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And for them to find you, and go to Instagram and find you, Denise Mai.
Yes, you can find me. I have like 2 accounts. I have, well, a few accounts, but Denise Mai Real Estate is Denise Mai _real estate is my real estate IG account. And then I have a Denise Mai Official, which is more of like, that's going to be more of my coaching account that I'm entering into. So those 2 are my accounts right now.
好，那 Denise，谢谢你今天来跟我们分享这一些，就是蛮宝贵的这些经验，就是从一个大家可能觉得说啊，你很有钱的话，可能就是你爸妈家里都很有钱，不是的，就是你可以靠你自己的能力，让自己不断的提升自己，然后一直去追求你想要的东西，你也可以像 Denise 一样。那希望你们喜欢今天的节目。那如果你对我们的节目有兴趣，或者是我们也有自己的一个微信群啊，如果想要在里面更多了解一下怎么当一个更好经济的话，欢迎扫下面的 QR code， 然后欢迎加入我们。那今天的影片就到这边，还没有订阅我们频道的朋友，把它订阅下来。那我们下个影片见喽，
谢谢，
拜
拜。
拜，再见。